Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
Good.
Good?
Ish.
Good-ish?
Right?
Great. We've been playing
Great.
plenty of good games. Or great
Oh,
games. Or
that is
good-ish games.
debatable. That is debatable.
Good-ish.
Goodish.
This is our Patched Updates episode where we talk about all the games we've been playing lately. And on that kind of sobering note for all the games that we're potentially playing, Matto, kick things off. What have you been playing lately?
Well, lately. Cool. So to start off with, we sort of cleaning up my backlog of games, and I decided to finish off Fire Emblem Warriors.
Oh, yeah?
Finally, I would say I would enjoy the game more if I knew any of the characters, which I know zero.
Was
Oh,
this the...
two.
Remind me, was this the original Fire Emblem Warriors? Was this Three Hopes?
No, Three Hopes is the
The
second one.
one? Yeah.
This is the
You played the original.
yeah, original one. The only two I know are Marth and Robin, and the only reason I know those two is
Smash.
because they're in Smash Brothers. That's it. All the other ones, no idea. Absolutely, like who's this person? Then there's this person. Like I don't know if I knew who these people were. I know what I say I would enjoy it more because let's be honest, it's exactly the same as every other Warriors game on the Nintendo.
Switch, yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. It's just
Well, yeah, it's
I
not
don't
really
know
about
characters.
story. It's just hacking and slashing and
There is
killing
some story
thousands
to
of
it. Like,
goons.
oh, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I finished that. I thought, cool. I'll move on to the next game. Well, this is not the second game I played. There's another game I played.
Do it
It
in
is
whatever order you want, mate. Doesn't phase me.
whatever order I want. The second one was one that came out last month, or a couple of weeks ago, maybe. And that is the game South
Oh,
of
yeah.
Midnight, not
Yeah, it
at
was a
midnight. Of
blurry sort of boundary because, yeah, early April, that one.
early April. But the one thing I noticed with this game and some other Xbox games, they have one singular problem that they're going to try and fix in the future. It's the same problem that was in Hi-Fi Rush, Hellblade 2, and this game. And that problem is combat.
Yeah, it's not
Because they
great.
nail... Yeah, it's not great. They nail everything else about the game. They nail the art, the music, the sound, the acting, the story. But the combat, just
Or even just, yeah, I guess more
bad.
broadly, I feel like the gameplay, I guess, I'll cross one off my list actually by talking about this one. It's just, like, the core of it's good, but then it's too repetitive and it doesn't have enough place where it can go. It can't change it. They don't have the ability to change things up. And Xbox has kind of struggled with that at times, but I would say this is a bit of a problem with, oh damn, I've forgotten the studio's name now. But like when they did We Happy Few, before that, and
What was it?
and then even before that, Contrast, which was a launch, like a PS4 launch
Oh,
game. It is Compulsion Games. Like that was a platform, a totally different sort of game, but it kind of ran out of things to do, ran out of things to say, and kind of struggled a little bit. So I don't know. I think that's just an area of weakness for them where they don't have the skill set to necessarily go super deep on a game yet.
Yes. Yeah, but overall, I did enjoy it. I think more the fact that people thought, "Oh, it's a terrible game." It's not a terrible game. It's just one key component just brings it down a lot, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. But it's not like, "Oh, it's not. Oh, it's an Xbox game. It sucks." It doesn't suck. It's not something like, for instance, Redfall, which did
Ooh. Yeah.
in
Speaking
in
of games
in
that suck.
pun ter I say in pun terms of Redfall sucked because just everything about that game was horrible. But that's all we will say about Redfall. But yeah, so hopefully with any other third-person adventure game that they do, they one day get the combat side of things right because they haven't succeeded at that yet. I don't know what their next third-person adventure is. I can't
Well,
remember.
there's a bit of me that hopes that, and I'll admit I haven't finished the game yet. Have you finished it?
Yes.
So I know it's not long. Does it have a conclusion where you would think there's a chance they might go back to this for a sequel?
No.
Oh, it's pretty close. Okay.
It feels like an open and closed case, but I could be wrong.
Because
They might find another way. I don't know.
my thought there might be a case of there could be some sort of DLC that they put out, and that could be the opportunity to try some ideas out on a game
possibly.
through a gameplay lens. And they go, cool, these work, these didn't. Like we've kind of taken on board the feedback, we've applied it to the DLC. People like the DLC, hypothetically. People really like the DLC and what we tried to do there. Okay, let's see if we can build on this for a sequel.
It could. I mean, it just feels like it sort of feels like it's just all about fairy tales. That's what it feels like. What the story is with certain characters. So there might be the possibility of a DLC. I could look at it and go, I just finished it. And went, oh, cool. I uninstalled it, so I didn't really think of, oh, there could be a sequel to this. It's just how I finished. I thought, oh, cool. That was it. Like I didn't really think
closure. I guess
this could be. Yeah, there's no. I don't know. It's not like in a Marvel film where there's like an end credits, post credits, and all that stuff. It's not God of War or anything like that. It's just credits that go for. I don't know how long for. 5 minutes. Not Assassin's Creed Shadows of 2 hours, as I found out on a Twitter feed once, which is, I hate to say it, ridiculous. Who would want to sit through 2 hours of credits?
Yeah, pretty much.
You play another. I could watch a whole movie in that. But anyway, I played it. Didn't hate it. Don't know if there'll be a sequel. Not because it's bad. It's just the fact it's how it finished.
Yeah, definitive ending.
I said definitive ending. But who knows? They might. They might not. And then on to my next game, which came out, as I found out, at 6 o'clock on a Friday night in Australia. It was on Games Pass. It's a game that everyone's gone.
Oh yes,
crazy
cool,
about.
cool.
Sort of crazy about. I decided to play. I thought. I thought. Oh, it's on Games Pass. I thought, you know what? I finished South of Midnight on that day. I'm going to download it and play it.
Of course, he's talking about Oblivion. No, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, right?
Yes, it is such a weird name. I thought it was a book or something because it had Clair Obscur, and I thought
it does have that sort of feel about it. But it's...
So is this a book? And then I actually googled it. There's no such thing as a book anywhere whatsoever. And then
it feels like a Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
I thought it was like something like a
John Romero's.
Not quite
Kojima's.
like. Yeah, not quite like Tom Clancy or something. It's something like that. I thought, is this a book or something? And there's nothing references to the book whatsoever.
Story by Hideo Kojima. Graphics by Hideo Kojima. Concept by Hideo Kojima. Powered by Kojima Productions. Everything's developed by
Unity.
Clair Obscur.
But if there's three words to describe this game, I would say it's this. Oh, ho, ho. It is very French. You look at it and go, that's a French game. It's like within the first frame of when you start the game, what's the first thing you see? A manipulated Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
Pretty much the first thing you see, you go, oh yeah, cool, we're somewhere in Paris. And then the more you go on, you just look and go, this is so French. If you said to me, it's like, who developed this? I'd say someone French.
Sandfall Interactive is a French team, so
there you go.
Yeah, and even actually, I've done a little bit of googling because I don't know why I never thought to check this beforehand. I searched for who is Clair Obscur. There is no Clair Obscur.
It's a mystery.
Clair Obscur is a French term that essentially means like strong contrast between light and dark.
Oh, so we've been saying it was a Clair Obscur.
Well, yeah, we probably should be doing more of that. I'm not going to, especially if I walk into my house and say that my France-loving wife will shout at me if I even attempt to do it. But
well, maybe you should ask her to see how's the correct pronunciation of this word.
Oh no, I think you actually did it pretty well. But like, there'll always be that Aussie twang on the whole thing, and that'll drive the French wild. I'm sure. But yeah, that looks like that's kind of the background between that. And so then Light and Dark, Expedition 33. Yeah, it's Light and Dark doesn't kind of... Yeah, anyway.
I can see why they went with the Clair Obscur, because it sounds much more fancier than Light or Dark.
And honestly, the name just will not matter now because like I don't know if you saw the social activity earlier today. They've sold a million copies now
500,000.
already. No,
Are they?
they've sold a million, and
Wow.
that of course doesn't include people like yourself who playing it on Game Pass. That's just a million sales across
But,
PC and PlayStation 5.
but the thing is,
And I
though, like
guess
I've played it.
if people buy copies of it on Xbox, can you even
Say,
actually buy a copy on Xbox?
I don't know.
Oh no,
To
you'd
be
be
honest,
able to buy it from the store, I guess. But
it's
retail.
$75 on store. That's all I know.
The thing, so actually on that, so I mean, I've been playing the game for nearly a month now, and I've barely progressed because I was too busy playing another game that I'll talk about shortly, for review. But I went to go pick up. I pre-ordered a copy because I knew, okay, I need to get this. It's as good as I hoped it would be. But I was always a bit hesitant initially because, like, indie game that's reaching for the stars, probably not going to nail it because that tends to be how these things end up. Once I realized how quickly wrong I
Wrong.
was, dropped a pre-order on it, which is a relief because I like having, especially for JRPGs, and also my mum who still likes traditional box copies of things. I went to go pick that game up and wanted to go price match it at EB, and I saw that JB was listing it only for $5 cheaper, down from 89 to 84. But I went to go click on the link, and I couldn't price match it because they're sold out. So the listing has disappeared off the site. And then I went looking for every other retailer, and it's just gone. Like EB no longer has copies. They had my pre-ordered copy, but they don't actually have any copies of the game to sell anymore. Like the demand is absurd. It's awesome.
It's just nice to see everyone saw the Metacritic score, whatever, of 92, which is for an indie game too. I didn't know it was an indie game. It's insane. It's like, all I'll say is I don't want to give too much away. One, yes, it's French. You'll figure that out within the first 5 minutes of the game. That's not a spoiler.
If you
You
read
look
the
at it
name.
and go, yeah, French. Yeah, or that too, if you say it in the correct pronunciation. But, so that first hour of gameplay, or if you call it gameplay, whatever, pretty much when it's get past the tutorial part. So we'll just say that. Man, when I was playing, I thought, oh, what is going on here? I want to know more. And that is the type of game I like.
Is this, and I won't spoil exactly what happened for those, because I mean, we're like, what, less than a week since the game came out. But did you reach that island, like you got off the boats, and then that scene that happens afterwards? Holy shit. Like the stakes just go boom straight to to sky high levels. I'm like, I have to keep playing this. And then and then Indie came out and I had to review it. I'm like, so I'm back to it in the last couple of days. But
that's the thing, because I think I was expecting something else. You think, oh yeah, this, that, and whatever, because they talk about the stories about it in the tutorial part. You listen to those stories and go, oh, okay, this is interesting. Then, like you said, you get off the boat, you get on that island or whatever. Oh man, like your whole perception just changes. You go from, oh, what am I doing here, to what the hell is going on?
Yeah,
and that is the whole mystery
good ways,
about
like in really, really good ways.
Really good. Like I don't care. Like I'll admit, I'm not the best at the whole turn-based thing because I misjudged the hitting and all that a lot, which is fine. I'm not too annoyed by it. It's just everything's timing, and my timing is just way off on things. Like, right, it's like playing chicken. You're like, right, I'm ready. Dodge, miss, hit.
Well, hang on, so you've played Sekiro, right? As in Shadows Die Twice.
Not much. Yes.
Because that game's all about parrying, right?
Oh, depends on the enemy.
More so than the dodge. It's my understanding is it's more about the parry, because I've heard so many comparisons for those who kind of immerse themselves in Souls-likes and are now kind of getting into this where there's parries involved. Apparently, they're all saying, think of this, like the parry for this, as being like specifically Sekiro, which is you are parrying at the absolute last minute, not when you kind of see the movement, not when they kind of first signpost it. The signpost is a prompt to be like, all right, it's coming. Drop it at the last second.
It's like that.
The initial signpost is better for the dodge, or when you, there's a jump, like you can use the jump in combat eventually. And there'll be other mechanics and those sort of things that'll introduce themselves later. But specifically for parrying, it's like the last minute. But also, if you're struggling with it, then don't hesitate to just flick it over to story mode.
That's what I thought too. I thought, you know what, I could, but I'm not struggling with the combat. It's just timing issues on my behalf, not. I don't say, oh, that's bullshit. It's like, oh,
it's not unfair.
like you said. So that's not unfair. It's like, I might do it like, it'd be stupid, like 0.2 of a second too late, and I don't dodge it. It's because of my reactions, not the fact that I think, oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
It's just the fact that I mistimed the dodge, the parry, the jump,
all
whatever.
of it.
But it's also a game too, especially turn based. Because mostly I'm a was that hack and slash guy, so you just
Yeah.
hit something without thinking. With this, you kind of have to think strategically, like, oh, what's this elemental enemy's weakness? Is it fire? Is it ice? Is it something completely different?
Not
Is
to
it
mention
this or that?
the free aim with, if we're talking about
Free aim,
Gustav,
yes.
like the gun, for example, where he pulls the gun out and they've got the weak spot and you shoot that, and that might kind of break them essentially, and that allows you to do more damage, all those sorts of things. Like there's a lot going on.
I also didn't realize the voice actor for that, Gustav,
Yes,
is Daredevil.
Charlie Cox, yeah.
Daredevil. I was like, oh, it's insane. It's like Andy Serkis. Pretty much when you hear Andy Serkis's voice, you're like, ah, there he is. It's not even a giveaway. You just look at it and go, oh, there's Andy. That's it. That's all I need to know.
But
Like,
also,
who's Andy?
so it's Charlie Cox, but
Yes.
I won't name names here. Who does he look like, Gustav?
Who?
Because I said this like when I first got access to the game, and I showed him to my wife, and I said, "This looks like this individual. You're clearly not coming up with a name here." And then since the review embargo's lifted, I've seen so many people making the same comparison. Does he look like Robert Pattinson to you?
Oh.
So as in Cedric Diggory, Edward
I thought,
from
yeah, no,
Twilight,
I'm just trying to think now.
Batman.
He's not glowing. I say he's not glowing. He's not glowing with glitter, so I'm not entirely sure. But yeah,
My wife said no. I was like, I was
I don't
adamant.
know. I've got to just look at him without a mustache.
And I felt so vindicated when the review embargo lifted, and I heard a whole bunch of comparisons to Robert Pattinson. I'm like, yes. For me, it was like the shape of the jaw, like the shape of his head. Just
Let's
fit.
have a look. Let me look at some images. Oh, yeah. I think it's one of those things. I think that if you take away the beard, I might look at it and go, yeah, it looks like Robert Pattinson. Maybe I need to give him a better hairstyle.
Especially considering they clearly... yeah, I typed Robert Pattinson Gustav, and there's a Reddit thread that's like, why does Gustav look like Robert Pattinson? And then an article from Destructoid that says, no, Robert Pattinson isn't in Clair Obscur Expedition 33. But like, if they paid big to get Charlie Cox, they probably could have paid to get Robert Pattinson. So maybe he was designed to look like him. Maybe it was going to be like a mocap thing, and then it fell through.
Possibly.
They've gone big with the acting talent.
They have. Especially Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy
Ben
Serkis.
Starr.
Ben Starr's in it. Obviously, yeah, we
Who's
mentioned
the other one?
Charlie Cox.
And the other two. Other three.
I'm
far.
making sure I get my names, because people keep talking about the names, but of course, as well documented, I'm not big in the film and acting world. Jennifer English, though, obviously was one. She was in it. She does a fantastic job as Mayel. There's Kirsty Ryder, who's a name I've heard, but I couldn't tell you necessarily what she's done in the past. Oh, she was in Sifu.
Oh, that's right. That's what the developers made before this.
No.
Not the developers.
This is their first ever game. Kepler Interactive are the publishers.
Oh no,
yeah.
publishers. Yes, okay.
Kepler Interactive. Yeah, the other team the team that did Sifu is working on that new soccer game Rematch that comes out in like.
Oh right, yes.
Um,
Geez, the expectations are going to be high for the next game. Then that's
Kepler Interactive has hardly missed since they've started publishing. Let me double check because this is not the first. Obviously, Sifu was another one.
There was one more too. I looked at it and went, they published that game too.
They did Flintlock. Remember the game from
yes.
A44?
Dark Souls type, yes.
Yeah. Pacific Drive they did. Sifu they did. Tchia they did. Scorn is one that was a bit of a miss. But they did Ultros, which was a good Metroidvania. They did Cat Quest 3, which I know is not going to get to like a crazy amount of hype, but Cat Quest 3 was really good. Like they low key, making a bit of a run for. They've also published that Bionic Bay that just came out in the last week or so that has been getting raving reviews. They're like low key making a play to try and kick out the likes of Annapurna and Devolver as the top indie publisher in the world.
Well, they've got to up their showcase talent then, if that's the case, to outdo
Well, it's
Devolver.
Atoll, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't beat Volley, forget about it. You're not the best. Who can do that? You'll never be the best. Unless you win Game of the Year, then of course you can claim that for a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I
Um,
mean, yeah,
I've kind of hijacked though. Sorry, some of your other thoughts on Expedition
no,
33.
I think it's great. I want to know more about that story, which I will.
Yeah.
I will get to the end of that game and go, this is a great game. And it could depend too. It could actually knock off Monster Hunter Wilds as my game of the year.
Oh,
It's a tough one. If that story gets any better, boss, I'm sorry, Monster Hunter, but you do have to take second place.
Matto's going to give a goatee to a turn-based RPG.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
To be fair,
I-
Doom still has to come out. GTA has to
yes.
come out. We now know that
No,
Ghost of
absolutely
Yotei
not.
now has a release date. Like,
There was one more coming out. That's we'll talk about that later.
oh, sorry,
But
Mario Kart and everything for the Switch 2 now
yes,
still has to come out.
oh
Elden
dear,
Ring, Night Rain, Lost Soul Aside. I'm now just quickly
no.
looking at a list. Death Stranding 2, Mafia, The Old Country, Borderlands 4 has to
Oh
come out.
yeah,
Metal
Forgot
Gear
about
Solid
Mafia.
Delta has to come out. Marathon has to come out. I mean, I don't think Marathon will be the one, but the rest of the year is still pretty stacked, which
I
sucks.
thought just this. I thought this 3 weeks of gaming. I thought, oh man, there's too many games coming out in this 3 week period that I want to try and play, but I can't. I'll try, but I won't. At the same time,
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to May, which obviously has Doom, but Doom's not going to be a 30 plus hour thing. What, probably 15 to 20? I can't remember. How long was Doom Eternal in the end? About
close
15?
to 15. Yeah,
Um,
about 10, 15, I reckon.
Because
What are they,
outside of
9
that,
levels?
there's Midnight Walk, which comes out. That was that one for PSVR 2 and PS5. That was kind of it was very Tim Burton inspired in terms of the way it looked. But then at the end of the month, there's Elden Ring, Night Rain, which I don't care about, and Lost Soul Aside, which might be Souls-likey as well, which means I don't really care about that either. So May is like the one where I'm like, this is my chance to beat Clair Obscur, finish off South at Midnight, Oblivion, and then get back to Monster Hunter. I've got to finish Monster Hunter. I have to.
I would say Oblivion out of nowhere. We always thought, like, was it a bad idea to shadow drop it or just drop it straight away? No, everyone's gone bananas for that game. It's insane.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, it's crazy. It's like people say it's not a remaster, it's a remake and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, it does look like a remake, and it's crazy.
One of the best reviewed games of all time suddenly gets a pretty epic glow up.
Who would have thought Xbox's no marketing camp scheme actually worked for once?
To be fair, probably reaps the benefits of the fact that it's Oblivion and Bethesda. It's Bethesda more than Xbox.
They showed it, and they showed a video and said it's available now.
The original Oblivion has a 94 on Metacritic.
Oh man,
94 PC, 94 Xbox 360, 93 on PS3.
that's because of the preloaded. That 1% just ruined it.
Meanwhile, based on 7 reviews so far, as of when we record this,
7?
Oblivion remastered. Well, because remember, no one had early access to it. So I would also,
I
would question any one of these outlets that has a scored review so far. I'll put it out there as a fellow Metacritic accredited thing. These are dubious to me, but there are 7 reviews out for Oblivion, and the game is sitting on an 86 at the moment.
That seems too damn low for my...
Gamer.no gave it 100. Try Hard Guides, maybe trying a little bit too hard, they gave it a 90. Gaming Vault gave it a 90. GameSurf gave it an 85. EveryEye.it gave it an 85. Game Reactor UK gave it an 80. The Games Machine gave it a 75, and then we've got some TBD reviews from IGN, which are Games Radar, and the Sixth Axis, which are all reviews in progress, and they're unscored.
75?
75.
What was he upset about? No arrows to the knee? Wrong game, you dickhead, if that's the
Suffers
case.
from instability with frequent crashes and significant drops in frame rate, particularly in open environments. So this is a PC version specifically that's being discussed.
We'll get a better PC then.
On PlayStation, there is one review so far from Game 8 that gave it a 90. and Xbox has Xbox has 5 so far.
Guessing all through Games Pass. Oh no.
It's sitting on an 80, so it's even lower on Xbox. But these are the scores, and we don't. Xbox Era is given a 90, Game Rant's given it a 90, Multiplayer.it is given an 85, GameSpot is given an 80, Metro Game Central is given an 80, and then I don't know what Gamers RD is, but they've given it a 54.
Must be PlayStation fans.
Oblivion Remastered is little more than a superficial facelift of the game we saw back in 2006. It offers very few meaningful improvements and still suffers from the same bugs as the original release, along with some new ones that can break your save files. I mean, if they had save issues, then maybe. But like, it's been 2 days, mate. You shouldn't be publishing a review. Oh, and it's dated. It's dated April 24th. That's what, the day it came out?
The day before.
No, the day after it came out. No.
So when they played the Xbox
Tuesday or
360,
Wednesday.
did they download the wrong Oblivion? They
Quite
played
possibly.
the 2006 version. That sounds very 2006. If there's no up facelift or whatever, because I've seen those screenshots, I've seen people play it. There's quite a large facelift on that game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're talking about.
But yeah, I'm really keen to get into it. I'm super hyped to get into it, but I'm going to finish Clair Obscur, and yeah, I probably need to show some restraint. Clair Obscur, maybe I'll even put it to the bottom of that 4. Actually, Clair Obscur first, then I'll knock off South of Midnight because it'll be quick. It needs to be Monster Hunter, but Doom's like right there probably by that stage. Monster Hunter and Doom somewhere in that, and then Oblivion can be last. Because it's still an old game.
So I've had 19 years to play it. I still haven't played it. So I can wait another week.
I waited all this time just so I could play it with trophies, and I'm finally going to get it. So I can do it. I do need to do some video work, though. Expect some content to go out there. Thank you very much, Doug, for providing a code. But I don't have to do the review, so lucky. We've really been stuck on Clair Obscur for a while.
Yeah, I did have one more game to talk about.
Go for it.
I'll be short. Skyward Sword, hated it. Move on.
Oh, okay, cool. All right,
Controls suck. That's all I can say. I've never been so frustrated by controls in all my life. Even with the Joy-Cons, it's no joy whatsoever.
Ooh. It's a nice
None.
one. I like that.
Congratulations, Breath of the Wild. You are no longer the worst Zelda game of them all. It's gone from last to second last. Well done.
Congratulations. Big climb. All right, so for me then, I don't really have much to add to the games that we've already discussed that were on my list. So South of Midnight and Clair Obscur, we've obviously discussed those in great depths. But beyond that, it's been a fair bit that I've played, and I guess one of the big things is it's been a lot of Xbox games. Even though I've only played one of them on Xbox, South of Midnight, everything else has been on PlayStation. So Indiana Jones is one of those. After obviously not really playing it when it came to Xbox, ponying up for the big fuck off collector's edition and having it getting really excited about the globe and the steelbook and all the cool things that came with it, and then I basically didn't play it. Thanks very much to Doug and the team. I've been playing it on PS5, played it, finished it, adored it. All the hype is I wouldn't say it quite matches the hype, because I think a lot of people had compared it to the likes of Uncharted and peak Tomb Raider, like say Rise of the Tomb Raider. I would say that it's not.
Why?
I would say that it's not
why?
at that level.
Why would that? I would have put it at that level. No way.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, it's like Uncharted." Funny thing is that PlayStation idiots are like, "Oh, it's just like Uncharted." It's people who jump and go, "Well, Uncharted was inspired by Indiana Jones."
Oh, no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that. Like, I mean,
I know that. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But there's people like saying, "Oh, it's just ripping off Uncharted." It's like, well, Uncharted got its inspiration from Indiana Jones. If you did some research, which clearly those people didn't. But I get what you're saying. It's not. I don't think it's up there. But in saying that, though, it is quite good.
Oh, it's an excellent game. Like my review, I heaped praise on it. It is so good. And definitely worthy of the. What did I give it? An A? I can't even remember what I gave it now.
A minus, I think. It was A minus.
So we're talking about like a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic 9 out of 10 game. Yeah, A minus. I just double check my review.
There's plenty of references from the movie as well.
Yeah, lots of people to kind of chew on in that regard, especially if you're a big fan of the franchise. But there is a gulf between that and the Uncharted franchise, and there's a lot of differences too. Like, I don't think it's also fair to compare them with the way that the game gets played in first person, and it's far more about puzzles and exploration and going off the beaten path. There's non-linear stuff. Uncharted is very much the popcorn action, follow the linear story all the way from start to finish sort of thing. So there's also plenty of reasons why you shouldn't really compare them. But if I just want to get simplistic and go quality comparison, Uncharted has it covered easily. Especially Uncharted 4, obviously, is the most recent technical thing. Anyway. But it's a fantastic game. Did not regret a second of it. Was keen to explore more, except that more Xbox games come my way because I spent a whole bunch of time playing Forza Horizon 5.
But hang on, wait, go back to Indiana Jones for a second.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Troy Baker.
Oh,
as Indy.
Holy shit, he's good.
Like you said, if you closed your eyes and didn't pay no attention, would you have thought that was Harrison Ford?
There was one or two moments across, I don't know, I must have spent 18 hours, probably 18 to 20 hours playing the game. There was one or two moments there I've gone, that's Troy. I just heard Troy come out. But the rest of the time, I'm like, that's Harrison Ford. And I listened to him on the Game Maker's Notebook talking about the whole process and the way he got there. It was really fascinating to see kind of just the work he had to go through to feel like, firstly, he was actually worthy of playing the role, but then actually then executing the role. It's pretty crazy, but he did an amazing job. Yeah, it's Harrison Ford, really, for the most part. Young Harrison Ford. You couldn't even get old Harrison Ford to then... You couldn't even get current day Harrison Ford to go back and kind of reprise the role and try and make himself sound younger. I don't think he's capable of that anymore.
Capable, but let's be honest,
Or got the patience.
Also too, he doesn't want to, let's be honest. He's got better things to do.
Like be old man Indiana Jones in more recent movies that suck.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, there's that. I have been playing... Yeah, like I mentioned, Forza Horizon 5. Okay. I spent a bit of time playing it on Xbox, but Xbox is just not my preferred platform. And I think I'd have to scroll back through my list here, but like other stuff kind of came out at the time, and I moved on. That's obviously that wasn't really much of an issue here, especially when I was reviewing it. I kind of had to. But I've had an absolute blast with it, and I just love the open world thing where you can just kind of jump in the car and shoot off in whatever direction you want. And you'll find objectives you can complete out there, or races you can take on, or you just go bush bashing and do whatever you want and make your own fun. It's kind of perfect for like open world racing. And Ubisoft have had a crack with the Crew. I've tried a little bit of the Crew, especially I've forgotten the name of the most recent one, which was probably the one that was kind of closest.
The Crew Horizon. It really looked like
they went really
Horizon.
The Crew Motorfest, which actually, now that I look at the logo, has a lot of Forza Horizon to it. But anyway, like that's probably the one that's come closest. But even then, like this is kind of the king of it. Forza's the top dog, and it's awesome. It's awesome. I think it comes out for everyone this week. I think people who got the premium edition maybe have had access for a day or so, but I've been playing it for weeks and just lapped it all up. Thank you very much to Xbox for providing that one. It was very weird to write my review, and because we always put a little disclosure at the end that's just credits whoever it was that provided us the code. It was very weird. I've got to find it now to write at the end of it.
PlayStation or something.
Forza Horizon 5 was reviewed on a PS5 with a code kindly provided by Xbox Australia. That's never not going to feel weird and wrong.
I know, it feels funny. Like people are like, oh, how's it feel that Xbox has to like put games onto PlayStation? You also ask the question, how do you feel if the number one selling game of the year is from Xbox?
I mean, it has been for years. That's Minecraft, right?
Has been. Yeah, I think most people don't realize that Minecraft is owned by Xbox. I completely forgot about it.
Does the Xbox Game Studios thing appear though when people play Minecraft, or because it was already a thing beforehand, they didn't kind of push their? No, it would have popped up in Minecraft Dungeons and those sort of things though.
I think they might would have just purchased as like, you know what, keep going. I don't want to be mobbed again.
Don't get in the way because we don't want to fuck it up for you. There's a cash cow here. So yeah, that's Forza. Beyond that, I've pretty much finished my time with 2 Point Museum now. I obviously played that to death throughout last month and spoke about that quite a lot. I've done it pretty much everything I can do with the game, outside of a few little trophies that I will at some point clean up, but I'm in no rush to do so. My son is now jumping into the game a little bit himself, and bit by bit he's working himself up towards having a 50-star or 50 rated 50 out of 50 museum. So I'm just going to let him continue to do that on the side, and he can get me that trophy without me having to put in the same amount of effort. Like, there's really small things, but I've done pretty much all you can do in that game, and so I just needed to move on because it was consuming my life, which is good, but I needed to stop. Beyond that, some smaller ones. Firstly, Croc Legend of the Gobbos.
Oh, Croc!
The team provided me a code for the purpose of review. Because I was busy working on Forza and Indy, that kind of sat in the back burner for a little bit, and they had no problems with that. But then by the time I jumped into it, they'd rolled a patch out, and the patch has basically broken the game.
Oh no!
Like, I'd kill an enemy, boom, hard crash, or I'd just round a corner, boom, hard crash. I couldn't get through a whole level, and I was just like bum rushing every level to try and finish it before the game would crash, and even that wouldn't work sometimes. So I've just had to put the game on the back burner. I'll find myself probably talking about it a bit more next month because I'll actually get to play the game properly and finish it. I was a little bit worried that I was maybe just getting unlucky for a while, but then I went and checked PSN profiles, and everyone was saying the same thing, that the game is kind of cooked. Ever since this patch came out, I don't know if they've rolled it back yet. I'm gonna see if. While we're chatting, I might try and look to see if that's already been fixed. But it's a shame because I'm keen to play more of it, but it just does not work at the moment. Anyway, and the last game is one that I am not done with yet. And when I am done with it, the review will go up on the Player 2 website. But I'm allowed to talk about it. Actually, sorry, there's two games. That are both kind of in this spot. One of them I can talk about more than the other. Nico Dorico, The Magical World, which was a game that came out, I think, last year. Yeah, look it up.
Sounds like a kids game.
Niko, and then Deriko. Anyway, it is a... My lighting, something's weird tonight. My camera and stuff. But anyway, that game is equal parts modern Donkey Kong Country and Crash Bandicoot, and it's crazy good. Platformer, 2D a lot of the time, then suddenly the camera shifts and you're running towards the camera because something's chasing after you, like Crash, or you're running up, kind of up the screen away from the camera, and you've just kind of got that depth and 3D plane that you're suddenly working with. It does some really, really cool things. I'm a big fan of this game, and I'm reviewing it, so I intend to finish it anyway. But even if I weren't, I'm hooked. And it's one of those ones that I don't think it got a lot of attention last year when it first came out. But I'm really glad that it's getting that love now because for some reason they've put a definitive edition out. I'm not even clear as to what makes this a definitive edition of it. Even the trophy list is the same as the main game. I think it might be that maybe they just bundled the DLC in. But haven't gotten to that part of it yet. But yeah, it's a really, really great game. So if you got, I don't know, probably $30, something like that, $30-$40. I don't know what's listed on PSN. It's on Switch, it's on Xbox, PC, PSN, like take your pick. But if you've got a little bit of cash floating around, you're looking for kind of just a more chilled out platformer, one that you can finish in relatively decent time. And you can also play in co-op as well if you want. This is the pick, and don't sleep on it because I think a lot of people already have. But it's a really, really good game. So that's that one. The last game I'm playing, I really can't talk about any more than kind of highlight that my preview is up on the Player 2 website. People should go check it out. But I've been playing Onimusha 2 from Capcom. It's the remaster of the PS2 game. The first remaster back in 2018, I think it was pretty shit and low effort. A great game, but like the remaster was just low effort. And I feel like that's what we're getting now as well. I don't think a lot of effort's gone into this thing. They've touched up some basic stuff similar to the original remaster. But yeah, unless you're a really big Onimusha fan who's just keen to play the franchise on modern systems, I don't think there's not much rush or reason to jump into this one. So I've also just gone and checked the Croc Legend of the Gobbos message board, and there's been no update to the game or pullback of the patch, which sucks. But yeah, those are all the games I've been playing. So there's quite a lot of them. Matto, definitely recommend Nico Dorico if you're keen on trying out a platform at some point.
All right.
What do you see yourself playing over the next little while? I kind of highlighted that a little bit before with my plans, but what do you like? Where does Oblivion come into this? Because surely with Game Pass,
I think it's the same as you. I think it's the same as you. It's unfortunately because it's been out for 19 years, so it can still sit at the bottom, and nothing's going to get ruined for me anyway. I've seen all the funny things. Nothing's changed. Nothing's going to get ruined for me, so it will sit at the bottom until until I get through all the other games I've got to do, because it's not going to go anywhere. So let's be honest. So I'm the same as you. I've got like all these other games to finish first, then I'll get onto it. When that is, could be in 19 years' time. I don't know. When they do another remaster, because the reason being, I've still got to finish Expedition or Clair Obscur, Exhibition 33. I just can't
really
think about
butchered that one. But
I'm trying not to be French about it. That's why I was just like Clair Obscur, Clair Obscur. Also, finish that. Then get on to Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yes.
So I'll get on top of that, and then try and finally. I did start playing it, and then Expedition 33 came out or was released. Try and finally finish The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes, nice.
Not because the second season's out, it's because I feel like idiots. I think I've seen a couple comparing what's on the TV show and what's in the game, and I'm looking at it going, stop it. I've got to try and play it so I don't get things ruined for me.
Yeah,
I know things that happen. I know that, but I don't want to know how it happens. I want to see it happen.
Yeah.
I don't want things ruined for me and go, oh well, you just ruined the entire game.
The big one that you know about, they did it the same but different in the TV show.
Oh, that's all right. But I think
there's a game of golf to be played, but the way it all comes to a head at the end is not quite the same.
It's more the fact that they're just going to keep showing the game version of it, not the TV version of it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like, I don't want to see it. I've got to try and finish it first. I've only done the tutorial part of it, which is the snow. And
the advantage for you is that like this season is only going to cover half the game pretty much. Like I've seen, and I can say this now. I've seen the third episode, which isn't due to go to air as we record this until tomorrow. Thank you very much to Warner Brothers Discovery for providing episodes in advance. And like the third episode is almost the halfway point through the season, and they are what I would say is about 15% of the way into the game.
Oh, okay.
Like season 2 is basically the first half, and season 3 will be the second half. It's kind of an overly simplistic summary of I think what they're doing here. They'll make little tweaks and rebalances and stuff. I don't know if do you know much about the structure with which they deliver the story in terms of like the progression of the story?
Well, say at the moment, I've only played not too much, but I know at the moment, by the looks of it, so far, you've seen it from 3 people's sides at the moment.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen so far. But Joel's in there for ride a horse. That's all I've done with Joel so far.
Yeah, I mean more. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Maybe we'll end up discussing it more next month because you'll be playing it.
Maybe, who knows?
The two halves, yeah. There's overlap between the two halves. It's weird. I'm trying not to, especially now because there's a whole new audience that's checking out the show. I'm especially mindful of not saying anything at the moment. But yeah, people should check out my reviews of the episodes as they go to air. Thank you very much to Warner Brothers and HBO and Max, as they refer to themselves, their streaming service. go check those out on the Player 2 website. Episode 3s will be live now, and I'm sure by the time this episode goes to air, we've possibly seen episode 4. I wish they just send me the whole season. They didn't send me episode 2. And basically all the littler outlets, like what we are, they didn't send us episode 2 out of fear of us spoiling that big moment that occurs in the game, the one that you know about.
Yeah, one I know about but never seen. Yes.
Yeah, but you've never seen. They were worried about spoilers for that, even though everyone knows, like anyone who wants to spoil it can just spoil what happened anyway.
Spoiler. I say it's not a spoiler if you played the game. You know what happens.
Because initially it was like, we're going to provide you the whole season, and then suddenly episode 2 didn't come, and we hit up PR, and they're like, it looks like Global doesn't want to do it anymore. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Initially I thought it was just me, then I spoke to others, and it turns out they were all in the same boat as well. Then that episode goes to air in the US, and this was Easter Monday when that episode went to air. I was walking across the Batman Avenue Bridge heading towards the MCG for the footy, and then my phone buzzes, and boom, there's the episode available about 5 minutes after it went to air in the US. Like, oh, okay, now I know exactly what you were getting at. And then another day after that, boom, there's episode 3, because there was nothing they had to worry about in episode 3. So they clearly had a bit of fear around spoilers for that one, which makes no sense. But anyway, that is what it is. Thank you again, Warner Brothers, for providing the access to the show. It's really cool reviewing TV shows compared to games. Well, different. Anyway, sorry, hijacked again. Last of Us. Anything else?
That's it.
For me, I kind of highlighted all that before. Yeah, I've got, I want to fit Clair Obscur, South of Midnight, Monster Hunter Wilds, Doom, Assassin's Creed Shadows I need to fit in there too. Holy shit. There's a lot. And I kind of want to fit all of that in, or as much of that as possible in, before June 5 when the Switch 2 comes out. So I'm completely and utterly fucked.
Oh yeah, that's not. I just realised that. I just realised we're not that far away from a Switch 2. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, it's about a month and a week. And like that month, Switch 2 comes out. Obviously, Mario Kart comes in, and that's the only one for me, day one, that I actually care about. Then I have to wait a month for Donkey Kong, but that's still gonna Mario Kart's gonna take up a bit of my time. That Mind's Eye, the one that comes from the ex GTA developer, Jeff Keighley promoted a fair bit, and it was on the PlayStation State of Play not long ago.
Oh yes,
it's got a real cyberpunky sort of feel, but yeah, that comes out on June 10th. FBC Firebreak, so the Federal Bureau of Control, the new Remedy game, the multiplayer one, that comes out on June 17th. Death Stranding comes out on June 26th. I'm like, oh shit, it's happening again. July could be quiet because it's Tony Hawk and Donkey Kong, but and that's Tony Hawk for me. Oh. But I don't like it. It's just too much. This year needs to stop, and GTA hasn't even dropped, which is fucking insane.
I know. I think everyone's just like, right, let's get it out now before GTA. I think everyone just knows there's like a big exclusion zone where GTA just comes out.
November.
Stay away.
Good luck to everyone in November, because you've got, or late October and then November, because you've got GTA and Call of Duty to contend with, and probably something big from Nintendo as well.
I'll say, if you want to just bury a franchise, just stick it around the GTA 6 time. You'll never see it again.
No. Or you could have some really beautiful harmony like what we had with Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing. Now, admittedly, they're both mega franchises themselves, but we could have some wonderful synergy where the GTA audience starts vibing with the...
Oh, that's probably out now.
Kirby Air Riders will come out about that time.
I was going to say...
two audiences working together.
I was going to say, is Hello Kitty Island Adventure out yet?
It's already out.
Oh, damn. That would have been a great opportunity.
That would have been a good one, though. All right, we'll wrap things up there. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched. We've got Let's Plays, there's Shorts, and a whole bunch more. Visit the website, player2.net.au, for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patched, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick in a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. Higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto
_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website's player2au. That is Blue Sky as well. Sorry, I messed that one up. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you later.